Well, Nancy Pelosi has earmarked this Friday as the day that they are going to vote, they being the House of Representatives, are going to vote on the first draft of this third stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan. And in it, of course, includes stimulus checks, child tax credit checks, unemployment extensions, a $15 an hour minimum wage. Yes, it is included right now, among a whole host of other things. And from what we just heard, there was a few more billion added onto it today that you're probably not going to like. Also, some nuggets of information about the $200 per month increase to Social Security recipients in terms of what Joe Biden and some of the Democrats had spoke about several months ago when they were campaigning for the presidency. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. This is a new YouTube channel that I just started a couple of months ago, and right now I'm covering this series called The State of Our Stimulus Checks. Basically, I'm putting out videos, keeping everybody up to date as I can when all new information comes out. So if you want to follow along, if you are new to this channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and then tap that bell notification icon. And what that'll do is YouTube will actually send you a notification when I put out a video, and I do that, of course, when I get some new information. And best thing you can do to support a YouTube channel like this is smashing that thumbs up button. If you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, I just wanted to say, for my current subscribers that are doing an amazing job of smashing that like button, I really appreciate it, as well as all the participation in the comments section below, as well as on the community tab on this channel. I put out a poll today, and within a few hours got well over 1,000 results. So I really appreciate all the participation that you guys do. All right, well, let's get into it. So this Friday, the House of Representatives will be voting on the full draft of the American Rescue Plan bill. There's a small chance it could happen Thursday. If it does, I will definitely keep you updated. In all likelihood, it will probably happen Friday. At the latest, it sounds like it would happen Saturday. If they would go into Saturday, Nancy Pelosi said she would call Congress in to have that vote. Basically, she's just trying to get this passed as quickly as possible. Now, during this week, there hasn't been a whole lot of news. It's been a big waiting game, everybody kind of twiddling their thumbs. Well, except for some people that are actually doing some of the work, there's actually been some things added into this American Rescue Plan. And from what I've heard, it's not great. To be called an American Rescue Plan and then add in more spending for overseas. Yep, that's right. Billions and billions of dollars have been added into this bill for overseas spending. This is one of the things that Republicans were extremely upset about during some of the other stimulus packages where they had overseas spending earmarked. Well, they just added in a little bit more. And so you look at what the Democrats want to do and sending out stimulus checks to help the American people and the economy. It's a noble thing to do. But now you're kind of seeing some of the Republican side of things where okay, well, you're adding in all this spending where up to 40 to 50% of the money in this plan won't actually go to helping the people, the economy, or it has anything to do with the pandemic. And now you have people adding on overseas spending. You can see why this just creates all kinds of division, not just in Congress, but the American people as well. I put out a poll on my channel earlier today, and within a couple of hours, it got a tremendous, over 1,000 results. And the question was that if this stimulus package didn't include stimulus checks, the $1,400 checks and the child tax credit checks, would you support this much spending? And I figured it would probably be more of like a 50-50 split, because I've asked similar questions before, and a lot of people still said they would support the stimulus plan even if they didn't get checks, or they weren't as big, or they didn't include this or that. But now when I asked it, 80% said they would not support this spending bill if it did not include direct payments. When I saw this, I was actually kind of shocked, to be honest. I think people are starting to see how much spending this actually is. And when it comes down to it, especially when there's over $1 trillion of unspent money from the last two stimulus packages that were not spent yet. Again, this was part of what the Republicans were arguing against, saying, why are we doing $2 trillion in spending when there's still $1 trillion that has yet to be spent and put into those things that were earmarked from the last stimulus packages? Well, now there's $2 million potentially going through. And now we're going to be talking about the infrastructure bill, the $3 to $4 trillion spending bill, stimulus bill, geared for infrastructure. Now, there's a lot of things that could be included in this infrastructure plan that could be very beneficial for the economy. Some things are going to look like very wasteful spending. We don't know the details of that yet, but it could be included. Now, there are already rumors starting to circulate that fourth stimulus package could include those extra benefits for SSI recipients, for those on Social Security looking for that $200 per month increase. that you've been looking for since, well, basically since Joe Biden was running for president. This is one of the biggest searches on Google, and this is one of the most commented comments on all of my videos. What about the Social Security 200? What about the Social Security 200 per month? There's a possibility it could be included in this infrastructure plan. It's just rumors right now. However, with the size of that package being close to $3 to $4 trillion, there's a lot of things that could be included in it. And one of those could be, but probably won't be, the $2,000 per month stimulus package plan that 50 Democrats actually wrote a letter to. If you remember, about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, 50 Democratic lawmakers wrote a letter and sent it to Joe Biden. They endorsed it, saying we need $2,000 per month per person until the end of the pandemic. 50 Democrat lawmakers signed this and were for it. Now, the spending on that is astronomical. It's actually about 64% of the entire GDP of the country. So whatever happened to it? Well, after it was sent to Joe Biden, it was talked about in the media, and it was kind of discussed back and forth a little bit. Us YouTubers made videos about it. And what happened? Well, it basically just kind of disintegrated. And so I kept digging and digging, and the more digging I did, the less I found. Nobody was writing about it. Congress and lawmakers were not talking about it. It was basically dead in the water. And I guess now you can see why, because it sounds like they've had this $3 to $4 trillion fourth stimulus plan kind of in the works since that letter was drafted, or even before that letter was drafted. So I think they kind of knew, well, listen, we already have a big spending plan. There's no way we can have that big of a spending plan on top of it. There's most likely even a bunch of Democrats that won't support it, and they're right. So Democrats Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema are against massive spending that does not directly affect the effects of the pandemic, hence the $15 an hour, the minimum wage hike that they are against. That is on the chopping block, and we'll see if it actually makes it through once the Senate gets a hold of this vote. Because this Friday, the House of Representatives will vote on it. They will pass it. Highly doubtful that anything will block it at this point, even when it includes the $15 an hour minimum wage hike. The Senate could be another story. So if you're looking for a quick passage of this stimulus, you're going to have to hope that either Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema somehow just reverse on everything they stood for and pass it, or Chuck Schumer takes out the $15 per hour minimum wage and basically rewrites it, puts it to another vote that gets passed. It'll get passed then by the House of Representatives, then go to Joe Biden. But yeah, in terms of that fourth stimulus, I'm really, really curious to see what they have in store for that. I've heard some rumors about what could be included. Like I said, benefits for Social Security, infrastructure plans that could involve technology like 5G. But my guess is it's going to include a whole bunch of green initiatives. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for today. Remember, if you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I put out videos keeping you updated on the latest for these stimulus packages. So if you want to follow along with all the developments, please subscribe. But that's not all. Very shortly, I am coming out with videos going over Bitcoin, since it's one of the hottest topics right now in economics, and you can't ignore it. So I will definitely not be ignoring it. So if you're interested in the latest with Bitcoin, like I said, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and follow along. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching this long. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It really helps out with that YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys on the next video.